Cristiane. I'm a VFX producer at Double Negative for DNeg TV. Well, at school I was very arty, but I was also very into my science and maths. And musical as well, so all sorts of arts. And then as I grew up into the sixth form, I started actually looking how to combine both arts and science and maths, rather than just the standard doctor, lawyer, which was kind of the areas the schools tended to push you down if you were interested in science and maths. It was as I was looking at DVDs and behind the scenes of films that actually I was like, wow, this is a career. So it was probably when I was about 16, 17 that I realised that there was actually something out there that could combine both arts and science and the passion for film and TV. So I found a course at university that actually specialised in computer animation down at Bournemouth. And it was through there then I opened my eyes up to actually all the different types of job roles that there are out there. And it wasn't until sort of 3 years later, actually finishing the course, that I realised that there's not just the artist roles, but there's production and there's editorial, there's so many different roles. So I did a little bit of research and I found a contact through a friend, Louise Hussey, and met up with her about 6 or 7 years ago now. And she offered put me into contact with a position for a runner job. And I worked my way up through the industry. I trained to be an artist, but sort of after the 3 years course, it was quite apparent to me that actually I enjoyed production side, more of organising the crews and actually pushing the shows out and scheduling them and the whole picture, rather than just an artist working on a shot. So for me, it was always going to be that path. So I worked my way up through coordinator roles, which is actually sort of pushing the shots out, through to line producing, and then my current role, which is a producer. I'm co-producing a series at the moment, and it's sort of very intense on the bidding and the looking after the client side of things, but also organising the internal production crew, because it's quite a large production crew, so it's best of both. It's looking after the internal crew and dealing with the clients, which I really enjoy. For me, it's getting that at an early age, because at schools you're not necessarily shown the full scope of actually what's out there for industry, and you know, you've got your subjects and everyone concentrates on getting their A-levels and GCSEs, but no one actually shows you the scope of the different variety of jobs out there, and particularly for women. I mean, even at university, our course was, had about 40 or 50 people, and only about 10 of them are women. So that's showing you at such an early age that women aren't even going for the roles. So for me, if I could do anything, it would be going back into schools and actually teaching the pupils at a young age that these are careers out there, and then hopefully they would flourish, because I think there's a lot of schools out there that actually are in their little zones and don't teach enough women those sorts of roles. Everyone knows that you have to get your foot in the door, so you have to work your way up. So being a runner, you get to meet people, you get to learn the area, but it's mainly about meeting, getting contacts and making the most of your experience as a runner. And if you've got the right attitude, then you'll quickly be able to make that transition up to actually the roles that you would like to go into. So I would always suggest people coming out of university to just look at runner positions, and even if it's not something you want to do, just go for it, because that's the way in.